Certainly, because our reason for not filing an amicus or joining the amicus was our concern for the protection of the First Amendment, protection of the Constitution, we are glad to see the ruling today. Of course, these people who are picketing funerals and making loathsome statements are very troubling, very problematic. We're not happy about them prevailing, but there's a bigger principle at stake, and that is free speech. And when in doubt, we err on the side of protecting free speech, and that's what we did in this case. Well, I think the 48 other attorneys general got into this because of the political sensitivity. It is a very motivating party, the Westboro Baptist Church, to be against. It's very easy to take the side opposite them. It was not so easy to see through all that and take the side that was supportive of them, but that isn't what we were doing. It was because it was supportive of the Constitution. And I think that a lot of people went a little bit with their emotions. Before I went to law school, I was an engineer. I still think like an engineer. We make very logical, objective, legally based decisions in this office. Whether people like them or not is quite secondary to getting them right. And you are right, we do feel a bit vindicated just by being right, but you can't ever go too wrong trying to be overly supportive of the Constitution. Well, and that's the problem. And it's why we did not join the amicus of the other 48 states, is it is a much bigger problem, a much bigger issue than the Westboro Baptist Church. As we said in our statement today, the same principle. If these people can be held liable for offending the Snyder family, whose son served this country honorably, was being buried. It's almost unthinkable for most people what these awful folks are doing. But the bigger principle is the protection of the Constitution and the availability of free speech in the future. Look, it's easy to protect speech everybody likes. The purpose of the First Amendment really is to protect those minorities of opinion who are not liked, and in this case, vehemently disliked. As the Chief Justice said today, the Westboro Baptist Church has a moral problem with America. Well, most Americans have a moral problem with the Westboro Baptist Church. But because we don't like them isn't a reason for them to have full free speech rights, even when they're offensive, even when they're wrong. The list goes on. Because it protects you and me in the future. It protects pro-life protesters in the future, pro-choice protesters, environmentalists. You pick your issue. This is fundamental to the functioning of our democracy, and it is fundamental to the existence of freedom and liberty for citizens in this country. And freedom and liberty prevailed today, even if that was to the benefit of a loathsome group of people.